Christina Rossetti is best known for her long poem Goblin Market, her love poem Remember, and the words of the Christmas Carol in the Bleak Midwinter. She is an English poet. She lived and wrote in the Victorian era and is increasingly being reconsidered a major Victorian poet. She wrote a variety of romantic, devotional, and children's poems. She is one of the most important women poets in the 19th century England. She was born in London on December 5, 1830, to her father Gabriele Rossetti, who also became a poet and a political exile from Vasto Abruzzo, and her mother Frances Polidori. She had two brothers and a sister, and they all became an influential artists, writers, and poets. Rossetti began writing down her poem from 1842, mostly imitating her favored poets. In her late teens, she became engaged to the painter James Collinson. In 1847, she began experimenting with verse forms such as sonnets, hymns and ballads, drawing narratives from the Bible, folk tales, and the lives of the saints. She is also known for her ballads and mystic religious lyrics. Her poetry is marked by symbolism and intense feeling. By the 1880s, recurrent bouts of Graves' disease, a thyroid disorder, made Rossetti an invalid and ended her attempts to work as a governess. While the illness restricted her social life, she continued to write poems. In 1891, Rossetti developed cancer, of which she died in London on December 29, 1894. Rossetti's brother William Michael edited her collected works in 1904, but the complete poems were not published before 1979. The annotated poem Remember.
Remember by Christina Rossetti. Remember me when I am gone away, gone far away into the silent land, when you can no more hold me by the hand, nor I half turn to go, yet turning stay. Remember me when no more day by day you tell me of our future that you planned. Only remember me, you understand. It will be late to counsel then or pray. Yet if you should forget me for a while, and afterwards remember, do not grieve, for if the darkness and corruption leave a vestige of thoughts that once I had, better by far you should forget and smile, than that you should remember and be sad.
The poem Remember is a sonnet with 14 lines. It has a rhyme scheme of ABB, AA, BBA, an octave, and CDD, ECE, a sestet. It is about a woman who knows her death is imminent. It gives the reader visual images of someone speaking to their loved ones on their deathbed. During the first 8 lines, the narrator expresses her longing to always be remembered. In the last 6 lines, she realizes that remembering her may cause the person she loves grief. As a result, she decides that she would rather be forgotten so she can be happy. The voice of the speaker is controlled but increasingly tentative, revealing as well as concealing meaning. Author Christina Rossetti used some literary devices such as repetition, metaphor, and imagery. The theme of the poem is it is better that we live our life every day than it would be to sit around grieving for something and someone that we cannot change. In the first line, Remember me when I am gone away, it shows the speaker's desire to never be forgotten. The idea of separation is also introduced. Lines 1 and 2 are examples of metaphor. Gone away is used instead of dead. Gone away and gone far away are examples of repetition. It reinforces the distance that is growing between the speaker and her lover and emphasizes the boundary that exists between life and death. In lines 3 and 6, Hold Me by the Hand and Future That You'd Planned shows the pain of the narrator separating from her loved one is stressed when he is not able to do so. In line 4, Nor I have turned to go, yet turning stay, and line 8, It will be late to counsel then or pray, are replaced by vestiges of memory amidst increasing forgetfulness. The narrator changed her message to the beloved. The command to remember is replaced by the suggestion she is happy for the beloved to forget. In lines 9 and 13 are examples of repetition. If you should forget, and better by far you should forget, turns the possibility of forgetfulness into an imperative. Line 11 is an example of metaphor. For if the darkness and corruption leave, which means his anger at her death. In the last line, then that you should remember and be sad, the narrator finally realizes that if he remembers her, then he might remember and be sad.